Hello everyone, welcome back to Team Neutralix. I'm your host, Live Jerry, your newest Neutralix coach / content creator. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to play Onyx. And in this guide we'll go over her signatures and like basic combos that you should know if you want to play the character and find more success on her and win more games. The first step is subscribing to Team Neutralix. This channel is full of creators whose goal is to help you improve at Brawlhalla. If you want to get coaching from me, check out the link down below. Or if you want to get coaching from any other Neutralix creators, their links will be down below. Also, they have coaching every month for $5.
If you want to improve at Brawlhalla as quick as possible, I'd really recommend subscribing to Team Neutralix's Brawlhalla class. For only $4.99 a month, you get access to a private class hosted by Neutralix pros, creators, and coaches through our Discord. You also gain access to all previous lectures if you just go to our website under the members tab. A big problem with improving at video games through YouTube videos is that YouTube really rewards a certain kind of video, where this membership allows us to host classes on any topic and really tell you guys the real stuff to improve at Brawlhalla. For more information on our Brawlhalla class, go to teamneutralix.com or just click the link down below.
Like, who's coaching for $5? Exactly. So it's a great deal, a great price, and it'll be worth it. First, I guess we can talk about what stance you should run. So personally, I would recommend speed just because you don't really need the dex on gauntlets or cannon. Like three decks is totally fine, and more speed will make it easier to get back to the stage and maintain getting back onto the stage. She already has 8, you don't really need 9, and you don't want to really take away from her force and only give her 4. It just doesn't really make sense to do. Strength, it just completely cancels out what I said. Like, you don't want to put her on 4 speed when you could, yeah, you'll have more force, but your ability to get back to stage and maintain control and neutral won't be the best. Base isn't too bad, but like, if you could sacrifice the dex for speed, I would 100% just recommend using speed stance. And then I'm not going to go too in depth on her weapon combos here, but I do recommend you check out our gauntlets guide and cannon guide, which are also on the channel. They give a very in-depth analysis and can teach you everything you need to know about the weapons and how to master them and be more effective and, win more games. So first, I'm going to teach you how to turn item spawning off. So you just want to turn the item spawning off just because it can get annoying when you're trying to practice combos. And then with Onyx specifically, first you want to put the bot on damage reset. So damage resets on, position reset on in the middle of the stage. That way you can keep practicing the combo over and over again and not get interrupted. But with Onyx specifically, her SIGs thrive a lot in keeping you in control, like keeping you away. But she's a high risk, high reward character. So when you do a SIG, you have a lot of stun, you have a lot of end lag, especially with her cannon side SIG. Her cannon side SIG, yes, it's very good at like getting your opponent away from you, pressuring them, like if they keep running up in your face, or if they're not dodging in neutral and you notice that, you can pick up on it by throwing out a side SIG. But the hitbox, if you look closely and just frame step it back, is only at her, like the tip of her tail. So it's not going to hit people like directly in front of you. It's only going to hit people in this range right here between you and them. So you want to be kind of very careful when you're throwing her SIGs out, because she's not a character that you can just mash and spam, because you're going to get punished for it every time. Like throwing this SIG out and missing, like you see how long I'm stunned for? Like that's a pretty long time before I'm able to attack again and initiate neutral. So you're just going to get punished with a light attack, possibly put in a small string, and you could just risk taking damage that you don't need to. Her end SIG is really good for like upwards pressure. So like if someone is pressuring you upwards, or they like do a lance recovery, or they just do a stupid recovery, you have a very good chance to hit them with this end SIG. If you look at the hitbox of the end SIG, it's not exactly the entire like fireball. It's pretty much like the inner portion, but like if they're charging up a lance recovery or just coming up like Qatar's recovery from an angle, this sig is really good for punishing it. And a lot of people, like, if you just sit at the edge and hold it, they can't really tell how long you're going to hold it for because it comes out pretty quick. So if someone's, someone's coming up at the edge, boom, end sig. Or if if you're playing twos and someone sends your way and they're pretty damaged, you just turn around, boom. Or turn around, hold it, boom. And you'll send them flying. Her D-sig on cannon, if you look at the hitbox, it sends in every direction except downward. So if we look at the hitboxes, they're in every direction except under. So like you can use it off stage to like defend yourself or keep your opponent from coming back up. Like I've done GCD sig on the edge to keep people away from me if they're applying a lot of pressure. It's the same way you would do like an unarmed GCD sig to guard yourself from your opponent coming back to the stage or giving them any opportunities to pressure you. It's basically the same concept. And if your opponent crosses you up a lot in neutral, so if your opponent's doing a lot of this and they're just like literally crossing up with you and like, yes, you have cannon and light, but you can't hit that stacked. So like you can, but like it's kind of iffy. But like this sig, you can send them away from you. And if you do it like directly stacked, it'll send up. And then that leads for like opportunities, depending on what health they are, for you to juggle them. Cannon's really good at juggling opponents and keeping them away from the ground so you can maintain your pressure and keep them out of your face. Side sig's also really good as an edge guard. So if your opponent is just sitting down here waiting, or they're sitting up here waiting, you can catch them when they're about right here and just hit them with a side sig and punish them for being on the edge of the stage. But like I said, just really take your time in training mode and learn the her hitboxes on all of her sigs, because her sigs in particular, they just have a ton of end lag. So you don't want to get caught in a situation where you just threw out a stupid side sig and now you're getting hit for it. Like a Gauntlet Sair right there just hit you, or a Lance Sair just hit you because you threw it out too early. So you really want to take your time and actually figure out like when it's okay, when it's not okay. Spar with your friends, like really learn like her hitboxes, her spacing, because like she's, like I said, she's very high reward, but she's also very high risk. And another thing you can do with the all of her sigs that are very useful is like offstage pressuring with an end sig or a side sig, and you could even do it with D sig. Like if you cannon string somebody off the map and end it with a GCD sig, you can send them straight into the kill zone for free, basically. And if you know that they don't have a dodge, you can get side light end sig. It's not true, and it's not guaranteed, but it's still good damage that you can basically just take away for free, as long as they don't have a dodge. You could do D-Light Dare and a side sig if they don't have a dodge. Like your basic cannon strings, like D-Light Sair, D-Light Dare, and then like, you know, you could just mix it up, throw a side sig in there. Or if you catch that they're spot dodging, you set the dodge. You can punish them for spot dodging if they spot dodge a lot. Pretty sure this catches, oh yeah, if you delay it, it catches a spot dodge. Like if you notice that they're just spot dodging after every time, this is more damage that you can just throw out there. And with her gauntlets, you have a lot of really good options as well. So if you notice that someone is dodging diagonal away after you sidelight, obviously you can't GC sidelight that really unless you jump it or you do a jump GC sidelight. But if you use her GC N sig, you catch that for free. Her N sig is probably her quickest sig in her kit, but the hitbox is super small, it's super readable, and it's really easy to avoid this sig. So, like I said before, you don't want to spam this character, because her sigs have a lot of end lag and they're super easy to avoid. But if you can like master how to use them properly, like if someone's standing right here on the edge, let me move Isaiah real quick. But if someone's edge guarding you, like right here, you can just come up with a GCN sig and for free hit this person for standing too close to the edge. Another good sig of hers on gauntlets is her side sig. Her side sig is super good for getting back to stage. Like you can use this to get back to stage pretty easily. Like I like to use her side sig a lot for movement. Like like in the middle of like neutral, if I notice the person isn't pressuring me, or when I pressure them, they're not really dodging, they're kind of just waiting for me to make a move, you can just whip out a side sig, and it's almost risk-free as long as you can guarantee a hit. But even when they dodge it, or they avoid it, you're still in like a position where it's kind of hard to punish because it sends you a little upwards. Her D-Sig is pretty good to rip out in neutral. They did recently nerf it in one of the patches, so her minimum time that she can like hold the button for before she throws it out is longer. But like in neutral, if someone's gonna stay in this threat range of you, like around Gauntlet's D-Light range, you can just D-Sig them. And if you look, D-Sig actually has a pretty decently long threat coverage, and you can just punish people for being in your space. Let me do it again. Okay, why did that happen? Yeah, you can, it covers a big area, like a pretty big area. If we just go back, that whole area right there, it's gonna hit. So her D-Sig is really good for neutral pressure, keeping people away from you. It's also super good on the edge. Like there's plenty of times where I'll just stand here like this and 2v2 and let my my teammate pressure from above, and then if they have someone off stage down below, I can just wait here with a D-Sig and then go straight into an end light. It's really, really, really good pressure. Really good for getting people just away from you in general. Because, like, yes, you could go for a D-Light there, but you could also just get more damage out and send them further away with a D-Sig. It's also really good, like Cannon, End-Sig, and Side-Sig in 2s. If someone does a D-Light Saron Spear, you can end it with a... If you're too low, you can do an End-Sig, and it'll still hit. You can do a GCD Sig at the end of it to send further away, or you can do a GC side sig if you space it properly, and it'll send them super far. Like these sigs send extremely far in low health. Her side sig is also good if someone's pressuring you. So like I said before, with her end sig, like if someone's pressuring you at the very edge right here, well, what if they're not doing that? Not everyone's going to stand here and just give you a free hit, and a lot of people, when you get higher in elo, understand spacing, and like they understand matchups and how to avoid things like this. Like maybe they've been hit by that before, so they're obviously not going to stand there and let you get it for free. So typically what I'll do is I will, when they're standing like right here and I'm out here and I'm low health, I don't really want to commit to a side air because I feel like they might punish me for it. You can jump GC side sig and it catches them from a pretty fair distance, and a lot of people typically don't avoid it or don't expect you to just rip out a side sig like that. Like most people like don't expect you to just throw this out, and it covers a good portion of the map. Like I'm covering half of Brawlhalla with one side. It can just like be really good to just throw out and get better positioning. You could do a lot with Gauntlet side sig. A lot of people like would recommend you don't use her side sig. Like I've heard a lot of people say this is the worst sig in her kit, but I completely disagree. Like her side sig can cover half of Brawlhalla. A lot of people won't expect it when you just throw it out there. You just, like I said before, you can't do it too much because her sigs are extremely punishable. Another thing you can do with D-Sig is if you're out here, you can apply pressure with it and that will kill them. I wouldn't really risk side sig out here just because you're getting sent so far away. You have to use more resources to get back. Her end sig is a really good anti-air option too. Like if your opponent is in your diagonal dead zones, because obviously gauntlets don't have a diagonal like threat coverage from neutral, you could just throw out an end sig. Like if they're just floating a lot, you could 9 times out of 10 whip this out and they're gonna get hit by it. Let's see. On Cannon, you have a lot of diagonal coverage too because of the sig. So if they're floating around you, you can kind of just throw this out there to apply some good pressure. Like I said, side sig for edge guarding. D sig is really good if you slide charge it, or if they're crossing up with you. In general, her sig kit is very good, very versatile. There's a lot you can do with her sigs, and there's a lot you can like use to maintain momentum. She has a really good weapon kit. Like gauntlets and cannon are extremely good. Cannon can just carry you around the map. Gauntlets have an insane offstage, and they can carry you all over the place. So it's just, she's an extremely useful character, especially in 2v2. If you look at any North American bracket for 2v2, she's probably in there 2 to 3 times just because she's extremely versatile. And there's so much that you can do with her, especially in the 2v2 game mode, because gauntlets are pretty meta, cannon's pretty meta in 2s. There's just so many options that you have with this character. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I would say just work on noticing the hitboxes, noticing what they do, noticing her threat coverage, figuring out when to and when not to throw out a sig. That's definitely a big one. And yeah, that's going to be it. If you liked what you saw today, remember to subscribe. If you want to get coached by me or any of the other Neutralix members, check out the link down below. And yeah, have a great day.